Hey, AP Latin. This recording is video is very important, and I hope that you will watch it in its entirety. I have a lot of important information for everybody, those taking the exams and otherwise as well. And it won't be long; it'll be less than 10 minutes. So please watch and listen to all what I have to say. I've noticed that in the last 2-3 days, there's been a flurry of activity on Canvas, and I want to assure those who have taken to it that once again, I want to reiterate something that I hope that has been a refrain for me, not only this year in AP Latin, but previously, is that anything that I ever give to you, I want it to be authentic and I want you to benefit from it. And the last thing I would ever want you to do is to simply do Canvas quizzes with the idea that, by doing them, jumping through that hoop, I will get whatever grade that you're hoping for. Let me be clear. Nobody in AP Latin is going to fail. You've sat through the class the entirety of the year. You've at least been exposed to the lines. And I'm not going to take the time of the greatest societal upheaval, I think, in the last century to teach you a lesson about how, you should have taken advantage of opportunities while you've had it. But nevertheless, I will take into consideration and reward those of you who have jumped through those hoops and done them. But especially if you are not taking the exam. I know I should have coughed into my elbow. I know. Nevertheless, if you're not taking the exam, don't do them. There's something else that I get all Latin students, those who take the exam, those who don't, or at least I ask them to every year to do, and I'll talk more about it in just a moment. I have been keeping track of the, who's been doing them and whatnot here, as you can see in my little spreadsheet. And I have been in the process of going through and copying and pasting your responses in a document and then making a video for you personally to walk you through it. But I think that at this point, with only a couple of days left, it is much too onerous to try and do that, because even for those I've done it before, you're continuing to do more of the quizzes. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make a video of me going over all the short answers, and you can compare that with how you have done and the like. Again, the point is not that they are, quote, grades for you to make, but rather a benefit of going over the lines and practicing. So let me talk about the final, not final, but this thing that I get. I often are in AP Latin, and I've done this for the last 15 years. And sometimes people do it within a day. Some people do it within a week. Some people do it within the summer, following AP Latin. Some people even it's a year later when I finally receive it. But it's incredibly important to me. It is really important. So I'm asking you personally, if that line from the Aeneid, Book 4, when Dido is pleading with Aeneas and says something along the lines of, ever I have done anything, deserving for you, or if I have anything of mine has been sweet for you. I say that. If ever I've done you right, educationally or otherwise, that you think that it maybe I've been okay, I ask you, please do this assignment that I'm going to be sending to you. I often talk about how 20 years from now, very often all that I'll have is a roster and memories, and my memories will begin to break up and fade over time, which is the natural occurrence of simply the limitations of the human mind. And so, as you know, I have these binders at school, and they are filled with the voices of my students. And that's what I need from you. I need your voice. It's a 3-essay prompt, and you simply are to fill your voice, and you'll see what it is. And when I send it to you, one is that you have an option of writing a letter to either Caesar or Virgil, and I talk about what you have for that. Another one is I want to know present, past, real or fictional, one person that you would want to talk to and ask questions of, and why, and those sorts of things like that. And the third option is just you simply talking about your life, and anything that you find, any aspect of it. And from these responses over the last decade and a half, have truly been some of the most dear things that I have read for my students. And I don't mean stuff that's necessarily to me or about me, but, there was this one I remember. These ones stick out in my mind, in which a person wrote an angry letter to a friend of their friend. But in doing so, it truly gives me a glimpse of you as a person. There was another one who wrote it to a showrunner that they were having issues with. I mean, like, somebody who makes television shows. Another one was to a fictional character in a movie that they were fond of, and really some of the most insightful, wonderful things. So I beg of you, please complete it. Send it to me. You can wait till school is over. I know some of you have many exams coming up in the next 2 weeks. Forget about it until then, and I'll be sending out a reminder as well. So if you can, please do that assignment. As far as your grades are concerned, I'm going to post them either Monday or Tuesday. If you have real issue with what you had, then simply talk to me about it. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. I think you'll see that I'll be incredibly fair, especially in this crazed time. Again, nobody's going to come close to failing. It is going to be far from it. You will see. But again, only do the Canvas things if they benefit you. And then I'm going to make a couple more recordings here in the next few minutes. One in which I'm going to go over all of the Canvas short answers. I beg of you, please, if you so wish, and I don't care if you do, compare your answers with what I go walk through and give you the right ones. And then most importantly, in that other exam or other video that I made, in which I talked about the things that you can do to prepare for the exam on Tuesday, 9 of you theoretically are taking it. Then certainly, hopefully you've used that, and I'm going to make another video, which I walk through some other things for you, at least 2 or 3 more. Hopefully they'll be short. And then I'm going to make one going over the second practice exam. And I beg of you, for those of you taking the exam, to do the practice exam, as in like a real setting, either today and or tomorrow, to get a sense as to the time management that you're going to have, set it all up exactly as though you're ready for the exam. And you'll see how quickly that time will fly. You have the 25 minutes for the 18 questions, and then you have the 15 minutes for the 7 questions over the passage that we will not have read. And so I highly encourage that. So I'm going to send along with this video the set of questions, the 3 prompts that I would very much love for you to respond so that you can live on in immortality. AP Latin. It's a dear class to me. Y'all people have been with me for a minimum 3 years. Next year will be the 4th year that some of y'all have been with me. And I would really appreciate it if you did it. Again, it means a lot. So don't worry. Don't do things like the short answer on Canvas simply to treat it as something that you need to jump through. I want it to be authentic, and as of this point, those of you who are not taking the exam, just please answer the 3 prompts that I send out to you, and become an immortal person by having a voice, so that I can pair with it a decade from now, your name and the fading memories that doubtlessly that I will have. For those of you who are taking the exam on Tuesday, I hope you use the resources, the 2 videos, 3 videos, however many that I'm making this afternoon, to watch them, to get some advice, to do the practice exam, and otherwise. I'm incredibly appreciative of you all being in my class all year. Thank you. So hopefully you'll watch this, you'll do the prompts, and any way that I can help you, just let me know. But don't worry. Okay.